Good morning. Never done anything like this before, never done a vlog, never really talked on camera, so don't know how it's going to go, so bear with me. But I am currently on my way, if you can't guess by the shaking on the camera, to the first round of the British Supermoto Championships in Wigan. I thought I'd do a little vlog of the day, a little behind the scenes, what it's like from my perspective going to these events, camera settings, a little bit of behind the scenes, talking to some of the riders, that type of thing. I'm just left Liverpool. Luckily it's quite a local one for me this weekend. Normally I'm leaving at about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 8:30, so I can't complain, but should get there just before 9 o'clock, ready to sign on. And the bike's out at about 10 o'clock today, I believe, so I will tune back in when we're there. Just thought I would come back on and quickly mention, because I've had a few people ask me how it works with photos as well at Supermoto. So years ago I would just take pictures of everybody, just go along with my camera, didn't matter who you were, what group you were in, whatever, I would just stand there and snap away, and I would take thousands upon thousands of pictures. But it become, I don't say too much, but it was a lot of hard work and I wasn't seeing much return for my work. I could spend upwards of 4 or 5 days editing photos, getting them all online, and I feel like I'm very reasonably priced on my website. I only charge, I think it's about £5 at the minute for the digital downloads, and that's the full resolution image. And I know a lot of places can charge 2 or 3 times that, so I think I'm very reasonably fair. However, when I was working that way, I was lucky to break even for my costs. Obviously I've got to incorporate my fuel, sometimes hotel stays if it's a fair distance away, cover my expenses for the weekend and stuff. So I was lucky to break even, which, to be fair, I didn't mind, because it's something I enjoy doing. I'm getting a free weekend at the racetrack basically. However, it was the 4 or 5 days after the weekend where I'm stuck in the office editing pictures all the time that it become a bit of an issue. So how it works now is I set a rider list, and depending on the round, how local it is, whatnot, I will take a set amount of riders. So for this weekend, for argument's sake, I've taken 12 riders or teams. So what I do with each rider or team, I'll go for rider because it's easy to explain, is I say it's £25 for your pictures, and that includes every picture I take of you that weekend. That could be upwards of 20-30 pictures, so the rider is actually getting a lot more bang for the buck, but it's less work for me to do because I know I've only got to focus on a few riders, and I can just group them all together, put them all up, and they're usually online within 48 hours. So the riders are getting a faster return on the pictures, they're getting more money for the pictures, it's less work for me, and it's more financially beneficial. So it's a win-win. With teams, I usually say it's £25 for the first rider, £10 a rider thereafter. Obviously if it's a big team and you've got like 7 or 8, I will come to some form of agreement, because I'm not going to be charging a team owner like £200-300, because I'm just not about that, to be honest. But what I normally do is I'll do it discounted, but it'll be less pictures of each rider. So for argument's sake, if there's 8 riders on the team, they might only get 6 or 7 pictures of each rider, so it works out a little bit. Obviously it's cheaper, but you get less and it just obviously saves them a bit of money, saves me a bit of work. Yeah, that's about it, to be fair. I mean, I know that currently there is Jeff and Claire, who are the official photographers for Nora Sport, who are paid by Nora Sport to come along and get the pictures, and they do take some absolutely fantastic photographs, I will say. You know, they're brilliant at what they do. However, they are focused on everyone, whereas for myself, I am rider focused. So I know there's times where you can come round a corner in a group of 4, I will pick you out in that shot and I will purposely aim for you, whereas I know for myself in the past, and I know it's probably like that for Jeff or Claire, that you've then got to decide, basically take a guess which rider to follow, and you could end up missing people and all that. So it is hard work, and I'm not taken away from the fact of what they do, because I think it's absolutely incredible, and like I say, they do take some fantastic pictures. But yeah, that's all it was. I just wanted to jump back on and just say, you know, that's kind of how it works. You have to excuse the nodding of the head and movement. I'm just currently going down the M58. But yeah, if obviously you're watching this, if you've seen any of my pictures from previous rounds and you're interested, make sure you get in touch with me before the event. I've had people do it afterwards, or they've come to me Sunday night and like, add me to your list. I'm like, it's too late now, like the racing's done, I haven't got pictures of you. And that's not just me being an arsehole, that's obviously the way I work. So if you do want pictures going forward, make sure to message me in advance and let me know. Get your names down early, because the list goes quickly. I'm not blowing smoke up my arse, but it actually does. You know, I can put the post up saying lists are now open, and it's full within 3 or 4 hours. So make sure you get your names down early. Made it a quick pit stop at the Tesco. Got myself my little meal deal for today. The food at Three Sisters, it's nice. They've got an I don't know how they call it, like a world food thing, but it's quite expensive and you can wait quite a while for it. So when I go to Three Sisters, I normally stop at the Tesco, get myself a little meal deal. I've gone for chicken and smoked bacon mayo. I've got my watermelon, that's my snack. Gone for the healthy option today. And a little caramel latte iced coffee. A bit of energy. But just a couple of minutes away now. So let's get to it. And here we are. Three Sisters. I need to find the trips, lads, because Mr. Groom has been very kind enough to save me a space. Look who it is. It's Mr. Joel Todd. He's going to come over and give me a kiss now, watch, you ready? Told ya. So we've just been to Riders Briefing. I always like to just go along just to have a little look at the track layout to see which direction they're running and stuff. As you can see, people are just starting to get a few bits ready. Obviously I'm parked at the back of the paddock at the minute, just by Team Trips. I'm sure they'll be looking after me this weekend, as they always do. Drinks, butties, that type of stuff. You know how it goes. But just about to start getting my high vis on, get my camera ready. I'll just talk you through what equipment I'm using today. So this is primarily what I will be using today. So my main camera is a Canon 7D Mark II. As you can see, it's a little bit battered and bruised and used, but it does the job. On there I've got the Sigma 24-105 f4 art lens, which is good for the paddock stuff, pit lanes, dirt section. I've also got a wide angle lens, which is a 10-18. Don't think I'll be using that much today, to be fair. I normally use that on other circuits where I can get nice and close to the apex. And then of course I've got the 70-200 2.8 Sigma lens, which is the main choice. I say it's a great lens for getting pictures of the bikes on track, good for panning. So that's about it. Get my stuff ready and start making my way out onto the track before the bikes come out. So the first lot of practice is just finished. I've been mostly studying on the dirt section behind me, as you can see. Getting pictures of the riders coming around the dirt, coming out to the apex, the back end's kicking out and stuff. Just been watching some of the kids on them mini bikes. Honest to God, some of them have got absolutely no fear at all. It's scary how fast they go, but they're not even 10 years old after. And they're absolutely flying around this circuit. Just found a souvenir. Looks like a part of Bathmate, I assume. Yeah, just making my way across the track now. Super lights are just heading out. They're doing the outer perimeter. So I'll take this time now to cross over and get somewhere else ready for the qualifying. Should start in about 15-20 minutes hopefully. Right. How are we doing?
Just for the day? Well, just for one day there, one day back. Yeah.
It's James. James doesn't ride anymore because he fell off one time and started crying and then give up.
James don't like getting dirty. I don't like dirt. It's been raining.
He doesn't like dirt, he doesn't like tarmac.
I don't like bikes.
I was to say he doesn't like bikes. Do you remember that time when he started crying at Teesside?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't get up the hill.
We just went, James, what? Threw an helmet at somebody who just ride it, brand new.
Just started a different part of the track now. I've found a little fence with a gap in it. As you can see, good little spot. Some pictures of the bikes coming around the corner. This is the B class out now for the qualifying session. Obviously I've got to stop each time one of my riders comes past. Get a few pictures of them. As you can tell, I've got quite a few in this class. I'll talk over my camera settings in a second. It's a little bit overcast. A little bit overcast today, so I've had to put my settings up a little bit. But no, to be fair, I prefer shooting in weather like this, because you haven't got to battle with the sun, you haven't got to deal with reflections and things like that. It makes life a little bit easier when it's this type of weather. Today I'm shooting 800 ISO, f6 at about 1.5 to 1.640 shutter speed. So it's just enough that as I'm following the bikes round to get a little tiny bit of a pan effect on the pictures. But it's not enough where I have to worry about keeping it very still. It's kind of the effect I'm going for at the minute. Coming to last few races of the day now. Obviously the weather's not miserable, picked up a little bit earlier, and then you had rain, wind, a bit of everything. So just heading out now for the last couple of races. I think this is the evening. Going out on track now. Obviously I'll be posting some pictures in with this video so you can kind of see what's been happening and whatnot. But I'll do a little video with the race start now so you see what it's all about. that's it, all over and done with. Another weekend of British Motor Racing. Another brilliant weekend of racing, right through everything from like the elite riders, like the top level, all the way down to like the novice lads. You know, it's brilliant to see so many like little battles going on right throughout every race. Always fantastic to watch, and especially for me getting up close and personal to it. Absolutely brilliant weekend as always. But that's it now. I think the next event is, I think it's the 4th and 5th of May at Teesside. So hopefully I'll see you all there.